You ever find yourself standing in the grocery store aisle, holding a box of something that looks healthy, but the label reads like a chemistry experiment? You squint at the tiny font, try to remember what your doctor said about sodium, and then just quietly put it back on the shelf. Or maybe you've opened your supplement drawer and stood there, completely blank, wondering, did I take my magnesium this morning? Or was that yesterday? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. See, something many people don't talk about is how our relationship with food quietly shifts as we get older. The foods we used to thrive on don't always serve us the same way anymore, and the way we digest, absorb, and use nutrients starts to change too. It's not about restriction or dieting. It's about adapting. Nourishing the body you have now, not the one you had 20 years ago. And the best part? It's never too late to eat in a way that supports your strength, your mind, and your energy. Let's be honest, there's a lot of confusing advice out there. One day eggs are good, the next they're questionable. One article says drink more milk. Another says avoid it altogether. It can feel like you need a nutrition degree just to make a sandwich. But really, your body is asking for simple things: hydration, balance, and consistency. Let's talk about hydration for a second. Many people over 60 aren't drinking enough water, not because they're careless, but because the body's natural thirst signals dull with age. You might go half the day with just coffee or tea and not even realize your cells are parched. That low-grade dehydration? It can show up as fatigue, achy joints, foggy thinking, or even constipation. Just a couple glasses of water between meals can make a huge difference in how you feel day to day. Then there's fiber, something we all hear about, but not enough of us are actually getting. As we age, digestion slows down a bit. Foods don't move through quite as quickly, and that can lead to bloating, irregularity, or just feeling heavy. The good news is that simple additions, like a spoon of ground flaxseed on your oatmeal or adding a half cup of beans to lunch, can gently keep things moving and feed your gut the kind of fuel it loves. And can we talk about hidden sugars for a moment? They sneak into everything these days: yogurt, crackers, even so-called healthy granola bars. Too much added sugar doesn't just mess with energy levels. It affects memory, inflammation, and even muscle recovery. Reading labels and learning where sugar hides can be one of the most empowering habits you ever pick up. Eating well at this stage in life isn't about following fads or chasing perfection. It's about noticing how food makes you feel and choosing meals that leave you satisfied, clear-headed, and comfortable. By the way, if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's keep going. Because when it comes to staying sharp and strong after 60, food really is your secret weapon. And the more you understand what your body actually needs now, not what the magazines say or what worked in your 40s, the easier it becomes to make choices that actually work. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention after 60: energy. You wake up in the morning, maybe you slept okay, maybe you didn't. But by mid-morning or after lunch, the tank feels empty. And for many seniors, that dip in energy isn't just from age. It's often from what's missing on the plate. One of the most powerful things you can do for consistent energy and sharper focus is to space out your protein. Now, we've all heard that protein's important for muscles, especially as we age. But did you know that your body actually absorbs it better when you spread it throughout the day? Instead of saving most of your protein for dinner, try including a little with breakfast and lunch too. Think of something like scrambled eggs with spinach in the morning, or adding some lentils or chicken to your salad at lunch. Your muscles and your brain both use that protein to stay strong and alert, and when it's spaced out, it helps avoid those afternoon crashes that make you want to reach for sugar or nap. Magnesium is another quiet hero. It's one of those minerals you don't really think about until your legs cramp at night, or your sleep gets restless, or your mind just won't shut off. As we age, we often absorb less magnesium from food, but our need for it stays the same, or even goes up a bit due to stress, medications, or health conditions. Some seniors have told me they noticed a big difference in their sleep and mood just by adding a magnesium-rich food like almonds or pumpkin seeds to their snack routine, or by soaking in an Epsom salt bath a couple times a week. And then there are the B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and folate. These are essential for brain function, mood balance, and even red blood cell health. But here's the tricky part. B12 absorption slows down with age, especially if you've had digestive issues or take certain medications like acid reducers. The signs of low B12 can be subtle: tingling hands, memory slips, mood dips. But they're real. Sometimes a supplement or a fortified food like nutritional yeast or B12-enriched cereal can quietly bring you back into balance. I want to share a quick story about Janet, who's 72 and living on her own. For years, she'd start her mornings with just toast and coffee. Nothing fancy, but she always felt drained by mid-morning. One day, after talking to her doctor, she started including a scoop of Greek yogurt with chia seeds and a few berries with her toast. Nothing fancy, nothing extreme. But within a week, she noticed a difference. Her thinking was clearer. She didn't feel as wobbly going up the stairs. And the best part? That little morning habit gave her the motivation to keep going with other changes too. That's the thing. Nutrition doesn't have to be complicated to be powerful. Sometimes all it takes is one small shift to start a ripple effect through the rest of your day. There's something incredibly empowering about realizing you can feel better in your 60s and 70s than you did in your 50s, simply by giving your body what it's been quietly asking for all along. Let's keep going. There's more we can do. Starting with some simple swaps that ease digestion, reduce inflammation, and help your mind stay clear and steady. One of the quiet habits that can make or break your energy and focus after 60? Evening snacking. We don't talk about it much, but that little bowl of something after dinner, whether it's sweet or salty, can have more of an impact than you might think. Here's what happens. Your body is trying to wind down, hormones are shifting into rest and repair mode, and then suddenly it's asked to digest again. Often something sugary, starchy, or processed. That late snack can disrupt your blood sugar balance and sleep quality, and over time, it may even contribute to inflammation that makes joints stiff and thinking foggy the next morning. Now, that's not to say you can't enjoy something in the evening. The key is choosing snacks that work with your body, not against it. Something like a small handful of walnuts, a few slices of avocado on whole grain crackers, or plain yogurt with cinnamon. These are gentle on your system and can actually support sleep and brain health. Walnuts, for example, are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients that help calm inflammation and support cognitive clarity. For seniors especially, omega-3s can play a big role in protecting memory, stabilizing mood, and keeping your joints a little more limber. And let's be real. Processed snacks are everywhere. It's easy to reach for crackers, chips, or light cookies that promise convenience. But most of them are loaded with ingredients your body doesn't need: refined oils, excess sodium, added sugars, artificial stuff you can't pronounce. These kinds of snacks don't just sit in your belly, they often linger in your system, making digestion sluggish and sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster that throws off your whole rhythm. So instead of cutting snacks out entirely, just consider a gentle upgrade. If you're used to a salty crunch, try lightly salted air-popped popcorn drizzled with olive oil. If you crave sweet, slice up an apple and dip it in almond butter. You're not giving something up. You're choosing something that loves you back. What's beautiful about this phase of life is that you don't need to overhaul everything. Just swapping one thing, one snack, one drink, one ingredient, can create a noticeable shift in how you feel. Your body still wants to thrive, and it responds quickly when you give it the right tools. Small changes like these also affect how your brain performs. When you reduce foods that cause inflammation, like refined carbs and hydrogenated oils, and replace them with natural fats, fiber, and whole nutrients, you're giving your brain exactly what it needs to stay sharp, responsive, and resilient. That foggy feeling that creeps in during long conversations or while reading, it often softens when your nutrition gets a little tune-up. One woman I spoke with recently, Barbara, told me she used to feel cloudy in the afternoons, like she was present but not quite there. Her doctor checked everything and suggested tweaking her lunch. Instead of crackers and cheese, she tried a plate with boiled eggs, cherry tomatoes, olives, and a slice of rye bread. It didn't feel like a diet. It felt like a picnic. And after just a few days, she noticed her mind didn't fade in the afternoons the way it used to. That one meal swap gave her back a sense of focus she thought was gone for good. That's the magic of nutrient-dense foods. They don't just fill your stomach, they fuel your life. And if you're still with me, if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell so you'll get more videos just like this one. We're building a community here, one wise choice at a time. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start noticing what leaves you feeling light, strong, and clear. And as we continue, I'll show you a few more superfoods that are not only easy to add, but have been quietly helping people thrive well into their 70s and beyond. Now I want to bring your attention to one of the most humble yet powerful foods you might already have in your spice cabinet. Turmeric. Yes, that bright golden yellow powder that gives curry its color, but its benefits go far beyond flavor. Turmeric is what I call a quiet warrior. It's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, but modern science is finally catching up, especially when it comes to aging. What makes turmeric so special is a compound called curcumin. This natural compound is a powerful anti-inflammatory, and as we age, low-level inflammation is one of the main drivers behind joint pain, fatigue, memory troubles, and even immune slowdowns. Now, that doesn't mean you need to eat spicy food every day to get the benefits. A little sprinkle of turmeric here and there, added to soups, scrambled eggs, or a smoothie, can gently build up over time. And here's a tip. Whenever you use turmeric, pair it with black pepper. The pepper helps your body absorb the curcumin far more effectively, making those small amounts count. One simple way to bring it into your routine is with something called golden milk. It's just warm milk, dairy or non-dairy, with a pinch of turmeric, a dash of cinnamon, a little black pepper, and maybe a drop of honey. It's calming, soothing, and supportive of both your joints and your sleep. Another food that doesn't get nearly enough credit? Chia seeds. Tiny, yes, but don't let the size fool you. These little seeds are absolutely packed with omega-3s, fiber, and protein. They help regulate digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and support heart and brain health, all incredibly important after 60. One of the easiest ways to use them is by making overnight chia pudding. Just mix a couple of tablespoons of chia seeds with your favorite milk, a bit of vanilla, maybe some fruit or nuts, and let it sit in the fridge overnight. By morning, you've got a ready-to-eat breakfast or snack that feels indulgent but is working hard for your health. And if pudding's not your thing, just stir them into oatmeal, yogurt, or even your water bottle. They don't have much flavor on their own, which makes them super flexible, and they expand when wet, giving a nice, full feeling without heaviness. What I love about turmeric and chia seeds is that they're simple. They're not exotic or expensive or hard to find. And yet they have this deep, almost medicinal nourishment to them, the kind that gently supports your body day after day, helping you feel a little lighter, clearer, and more in rhythm with yourself. There's a gentleman I once met, Richard, who started adding turmeric and chia to his weekly meals, not because he believed in miracles, but because he wanted to do just one good thing a day for his health. That was his motto. After 3 months, he said something that stuck with me. I didn't know how stiff I'd gotten until I started loosening up again. And that's often how it works. When inflammation quiets down and the body starts to feel heard, things begin to shift in ways you didn't even realize were possible. It's not about reversing the clock. It's about removing the static so you can live clearly and fully in the moment you're in. It's these little moments, adding a sprinkle here, choosing a seed there, that build the foundation for lasting strength and clarity. No stress, no strain, just small shifts that build a better day, one bite at a time. Let's keep going. In the next part, we're going to talk about some of the most common barriers to eating well after 60, and more importantly, how to gently work around them without stress or overwhelm. You know, one of the things we don't talk about enough when it comes to nutrition after 60 is this. Sometimes it's just not that easy. Not because we don't care or we don't know what's healthy, but because our relationship with food changes over time. Maybe you've noticed that some things just don't taste quite the same anymore. Or you walk into the grocery store and feel overwhelmed, staring at a wall of yogurt, wondering which one has the least sugar or the most protein. Or maybe, let's be honest, you've opened the cabinet and found a bottle of supplements you meant to take 2 weeks ago. This is real. It happens to all of us. As we age, our taste buds can become less sensitive, especially to salty and sweet flavors. That's why some foods start tasting bland, and others suddenly seem overly intense. It's also why some folks start reaching for salt shakers or sugary snacks without even realizing it. It's the body's way of chasing that flavor spark. But here's the beautiful thing. You can work with your body, not against it. If something tastes dull, try layering in herbs and spices. A sprinkle of cumin or smoked paprika, a squeeze of lemon juice, a touch of fresh basil. These don't just wake up your taste buds, they also add powerful antioxidants and nutrients. It's a double win. And when grocery fatigue hits, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just find a few simple, reliable staples, things you enjoy and feel good after eating, and keep those in rotation. A go-to soup, a favorite salad with add-ins like pumpkin seeds or canned salmon, a breakfast that leaves you full and focused. Simplicity is nourishment, especially when your body knows what to expect. Now, supplements are a whole other challenge. It's not uncommon to forget them, especially if you're juggling medications or you just don't have a consistent routine. So here's one gentle workaround that's helped a lot of people. Pair your supplement with a daily action you already do, like brushing your teeth or making coffee. Keep the bottle right next to that item, so it becomes a natural part of your day instead of something you have to remember from scratch. If the supplement tastes bad or is hard to swallow, ask your pharmacist if it comes in a different form. Some vitamins come in gummies, powders, or even liquid drops that can be added to tea or water. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to make your health habits feel like a natural part of your life. And you don't have to do it alone. If you live with someone, create a shared health shelf. If you live alone, write out a simple note for yourself and place it on the fridge. You're doing great. Take your vitamin and drink a glass of water. It sounds small, but these kinds of reminders can shift your whole day. There's a man I worked with, George, who was really struggling with motivation. His appetite had changed, and nothing tasted good. He started skipping meals, and soon he was feeling weak, foggy, and just off. We talked, and he agreed to try prepping just one nourishing thing each week. He picked homemade lentil soup. Every Sunday he made a big pot. It had turmeric, garlic, greens, carrots, and he knew it was in the fridge, waiting for him. That one act, just that soup, anchored his whole week. It gave him energy, it gave him rhythm, and more than anything, it reminded him that food could still feel good. So if food has started feeling like a chore, or your appetite's gone quiet, I want you to know, you're not alone, and there's always a way back to nourishment. Not through pressure, not through rules, but through kindness and tiny, doable changes that meet you exactly where you are. If you're still here, if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a perfect time to click subscribe and turn on that little bell. We release thoughtful, easy-to-follow videos like this one to help you live stronger and healthier at every stage. Remember, your body is still listening, your habits can still shift, and your plate can still bring you joy. One bite, one sip, one step at a time. Next, we'll talk about a couple final reminders that often get overlooked, small tweaks with big benefits for hydration, bones, and overall clarity. Sometimes, the simplest habits are the ones we forget first. Not because they aren't important, but because they're quiet. They don't call attention to themselves like a fancy superfood or a flashy label on a supplement bottle. They just sit there, waiting to be remembered. One of those? Water. Plain and simple. It's incredibly common for older adults to experience a lower sense of thirst. That means your body might be quietly running low on hydration, even if you don't feel thirsty. And when that happens, everything starts to feel just a little off. Your energy dips, your digestion slows, your brain feels fuzzy. You might even feel moody or more anxious without knowing why. That's why one of the easiest, most impactful things you can do for your body is to drink a full glass of water before your meals. Not only does it support digestion, but it also helps regulate appetite and make sure your body has what it needs to absorb nutrients effectively. Think of it like preparing the soil before planting a seed. You want things soft, ready, and receptive. If you don't love plain water, try adding a splash of lemon or a slice of cucumber. Herbal teas count, too. So do soups. The goal isn't to drown yourself in liquid, just to stay gently topped up throughout the day. And it's especially important in the morning, when your body's been without water for hours overnight. Another thing that gets overlooked? How foods are paired. Take calcium, for example. It's crucial for bone strength, especially as we get older. But it works best when paired with vitamin D. The two are like dance partners. Without vitamin D, your body struggles to actually absorb the calcium from food or supplements. So if you're taking a calcium supplement, or eating calcium-rich foods like leafy greens, yogurt, or almonds, try to pair them with something that helps activate absorption. That could be a bit of sunshine. Your body produces vitamin D naturally with sunlight, or a food source like eggs, salmon, or fortified orange juice. Even something as subtle as how much salt you use can influence how well your body functions. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at processing sodium. That means salty processed foods, even in moderate amounts, can contribute to rising blood pressure, water retention, and even fatigue. But cutting salt doesn't mean cutting flavor. Remember those herbs and spices we talked about earlier? They become your best friends. Garlic powder, onion, parsley, rosemary. These can add depth and brightness without tipping your sodium levels out of balance. One final gentle reminder. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you have to overhaul your entire diet at once. Real change, the kind that sticks, comes from small, steady shifts. Drinking water before lunch, swapping one salty snack for a handful of walnuts, making a mindful pairing between calcium and vitamin D. These aren't punishments, they're supports. Tools that help you keep your energy, your focus, your mobility, and your independence, so you can keep doing the things you love. Every glass of water, every balanced bite, every mindful shift you make, it adds up. You may not feel it instantly, but your body does. Quietly, consistently, thankfully. Now, let's bring it all together in the final part, where we'll talk about purpose, confidence, and how one intentional change this week can set everything in motion. You know, somewhere along the way, a lot of us started believing that health had to be hard, that it meant giving up foods we enjoy, or following some strict plan that takes all the joy out of eating. But that's never been true. You don't have to eat perfectly. You just have to eat with purpose. Because every single bite, every choice you make is a message to your body. And your body? It's always listening. Even now, even after 60, 70, or 80 years of living, it still wants to feel good. It still wants to repair, rebuild, and thrive. It just needs a little help and a little kindness from you. That help might come from a glass of water before breakfast, or from swapping your usual evening snack for a bowl of berries or a piece of dark chocolate with walnuts. Maybe it's trying a sprinkle of chia seeds in your oatmeal, or setting a reminder to take your supplement after brushing your teeth. Maybe it's just saying to yourself, "Today I'm going to sit down and eat slowly." Small shifts, quiet acts of care. That's how healthy aging really works. You don't need to do it all. You don't even need to do most of it. Just pick one thing, one new idea from this video, and try it this week. That's it. And if it works for you, keep it. Make it yours. Let it become part of your rhythm. That's how George started with his weekly soup, how Ruth swapped her afternoon cookies for apple slices and peanut butter, how Helen started drinking a glass of water before every walk. No big overhauls, just quiet moments of, "I can do this, and so can you." You are not too old. It is not too late. Your health is not behind you. It's with you right now in every decision you make. You are still allowed to change, to grow, to strengthen your body, your mind, your clarity. They're still waiting for your care, not with guilt or pressure, but with respect, with trust. So here's what I'll ask you to do today. Pick one thing, just one. And if this video gave you the motivation to move or make a change, please like, share, and subscribe. Your strength encourages others. Your journey matters. And we're here walking right beside you. Until next time, keep nourishing yourself, gently and joyfully. You deserve it.